Okay, this is part 2 on a siding and sheathing repair. I have applied the 2-part epoxy. I went over this completely with the Abitron liquid wood. Then I applied the wood epox only over the sections that I was going to be nailing into. I didn't fill in completely because it would be a waste of the product, and I'm not even sure. This is not even the best use of the product because it's a relatively thin layer, and Abitron is a more of an expensive product. If I had nailed directly into the studs here, the fact that the surface has, some imperfections in it would not be the end of the world, probably. But I did it anyway because I had it. Now, in this section here, the wood was corroded even down under the trim board, and I just pushed all of that in there. I don't really like doing that, having the wood epox meet between 2 pieces of wood. Normally I would just try to do it on 1 piece of wood, and I'd caulk in between, but this was a tight spot down here. You can see that this trim comes in at an angle, so the siding typically is not cut at an angle, it's just cut square, so it does leave a gap in there. It does need to be filled. Yeah, it would be a much more, I'm not sure if there's a better way to do that. It seems fine as long as it's filled properly, and I'm just going to have to be careful to fill that in. I have removed, of course, as much of the tar paper that was originally on here as possible because it was failed, cracked, and I'll get a better seal. I'm going to put flashing tape over this, and I'll hit pause, and I'll put the flashing tape on, and then I'm going to actually put on some paper, some building paper over this. I noticed the siding originally did use this brown paper, although when I took this off, there was no brown paper in this location. I didn't notice any at all, so I'm not quite sure if it was never put on there, if it's somehow disintegrated. I don't think so. It does disintegrate in areas where it gets rotted, but in other areas, so like over there, I think they might have simply run out of it or something. Anyway, I'll try putting some of that on also. I'll use pause here, and I'm going to put up some of the flashing tape. Here's the flashing tape. I got a roll of 33 feet for about $11 at Lowe's. I really haven't used this before, but on this project, I decided to try it because I knew that I had lost the flashing completely on that section where I want to put it in. So I measured this out to about an extra inch so I can tuck it under and try to get some overlap in the areas on the top. So I will hit pause again and I'll apply this. Okay, I applied the flashing tape. You can see that I get a little bit of overlap here. You would like to shingle this to try to get it a little bit over the existing black tar paper, and then under it at the top. I can't really get it under it at the top because it's underneath the shingle and I can't even see. And of course, it's sticky on the back side, so this is not the kind of thing that you can slide easily. And of course, it doesn't meet right up in on the edge, which is where it's the most needed. But it was not doing any harm. It's better than nothing, I should say. Now, one thing I think I'm going to try to do is, I have a tube of that black tar sealant for roofing, which is essentially what the tar paper is made out of. And I think what I'm going to do is run a bead right in the corner. You'll see that corner is a little bit of a cavity that gets filled by this, and I'm going to start right down in here where it's exposed. I'm going to try to run it up here, and then I'll try to, caulk over the top of that like I normally would, so you don't see the black tar. But I'm going to try to hopefully get a better watertight seal in there. Okay, and then I'll put up the building paper. So I'm going to hit pause again. Okay, this is a tube of roof and flashing sealant, and it's extremely messy. You have to clean it with mineral spirits, so I don't want to get it on anything. I'm going to apply a bead right up in that corner, like I said, and then I'll just use pause and show you that. Okay, I ran a bead of the black tar sealant right from the last spot where I had caulking up through and a little bit under on that one, and I had a rubber glove, one of those disposable ones, and I just worked it smooth and pushed it into that corner. Okay, and that'll be it for that. Now I'm gonna put some building paper on over this. Okay, they say that the building paper does serve a certain purpose. I'm gonna try to shingle it, which is to say I'll run it over the top of this, which is to try to slide it in between here, which could be a little bit of a problem, but since it's just paper, I think I can do it. It was tougher with this sticky thing. And then off the top, I can't really shingle it because I don't think there's any paper up there to begin with, but I'm going to use it anyway. Okay, I'll hit pause. Okay, here's the building paper that I have. It's this red rosin paper. I got it at the hardware, one of the big hardware stores for hardwood flooring. And it does a very nice job of covering up a ugly subfloor, and makes it much easier to sit on and slide around on as you're putting the hardwood flooring down. And they say it stops squeaks, and I don't know if that actually does that, but and I'm just going to put it up here because they say to do it. I'm not sure how useful it is, but I have it, so I'm going to put it up. Okay, I put up the pink rosin paper. I was able to slide it up over the paper that was on this layer. It was a little bit tricky, but I just stuck with it. Like trying to show you another cardboard that's got wrinkles in it. I cut a hole for that. That seems to be okay. I don't know how useful this paper actually is going to be, but put it up anyway. It certainly looks nicer than the wood. Okay, that'll be it for this part. Next, I'm going to probably put some caulk in on these cracks just to try to seal up this lower board. Then I'll start adding from the bottom the new siding. Okay, thanks.